Seriously, seriously. Sing with me. Let's make it a theme song.
Ready?
Seriously. Wait. Hi guys, welcome back to Seriously. Today, I'm excited because I have a guest for the first time in my home. So this is exciting. Amanda Diaz is here, everyone.
Wait,
Yay!
am I the first?
You're the first guest in my home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, not like in my home, but in my set as a home, or like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
You've been to the house before, but now we have a set in it. So it's exciting. And then we also have the one, the only, Antonio pop up in this bitch and say hi. We have Antonio Garza here. Yeah, she's always here. She's always making an appearance.
Wait, my pants are unbuttoned.
Oh. Hi. Okay, get out, because it's Amanda's episode. Okay, sorry. Love you. As you guys may or may not know from last week, let me just do a little catch up real quick.
Do it.
I talked about a lot of friendship stuff, and if you follow me on other social medias, honestly, you must somehow already know, because I feel like I'm always posting this girl. Amanda has been one of the closest friends I've had for the last couple of months, we've really kept each other together, I think.
Honestly.
Kept things grounded and together.
And accountable in a good way.
That's true. Actually, that's where we could start. That's a good icebreaker. I was a shit friend to Amanda last year. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't think you were a shit friend. I think also we weren't as close as we are now where,
It needs that. I need to be there.
Yeah.
Need to.
So I had a birthday party and Mario didn't show up.
I had full intentions of showing up, let me just say.
Fully texted me that morning. Can't wait
Happy
to shove
birthday
tequila down your throat.
Hey, because y'all know me, I'm a party girl, bitch. If it's your birthday, I'm about to show up and make you have a good time.
But I did understand why you didn't come. Mario's been struggling. Well, was struggling. Still is.
Still is.
Are we not all still struggling with
Yeah, wait,
mental health?
definitely still struggling. This week has not been the best, but it's way better now.
Yeah, I think.
But with anxiety, yes.
Yeah.
So I was she had hot boys at the party. That's the truth. And honestly, that just made me sweat a little. But she had hot boys there, so I was like, girl, I am not showing up to a party with a bunch of hot men by myself and just
I mean, you would have never been by yourself. You would have probably been with me.
The social phobia, babes. But
I
it's
get
gone
you,
now.
It's really hard for me to show up at social events now if it's not people I'm really close to.
With the girlies, yeah.
But I mean, we can get into the whole mental health of things and what we've been going through. But I did understand because I have those moments, and it's weird because when it's your birthday, it's so personal. You take it more personal.
But you didn't. Oh, she's fake. She's fake. She took it personal. She just didn't tell me. Okay.
It hurt that you weren't there, but I didn't get angry or upset about it because I've definitely had moments where I just didn't have the mental capacity to show up and turn it on.
Doesn't that kind of suck? The way that I feel like you want to go for this person, you want to make them happy, and you want to show up for them, but then something in your brain, just your chemistry, I guess, just is telling you absolutely if you leave this home, you will you will be sad.
I think it's just also we deal with a lot of burnout, and we have to constantly turn it on when it comes to work, when it comes to showing up to events, dealing with people, if it's not on the business side, socially, and it's a lot of pressure on someone to constantly, be this happy-go-lucky person, and the reality is a lot of us do experience burnout, and there's just moments where I can't do it, man, and I can't show up to a party, and it makes me feel really awful because I really will love someone.
It feels like a letdown, yeah.
Yeah, so I've started to not take things as personally. I read a really good book about this called The 4 Agreements.
I thought you just said you wrote a really good book about this. I go,
oh,
okay,
no, I
she's
wish.
a writer.
If you guys hear Mochi's really fiending.
Whimpering. He's a crazy girl.
Yeah,
and that's just the truth.
Just let him have his moment. If you hear that.
Sorry, it's part of the podcast at home.
Yeah.
But also, Antonio, do something. Fix the dog. Anyways.
But one of the things is to not take anything personally. So I've started to apply that into my life when it comes to everything.
I take everything personally, so that doesn't really help me.
I do too. I mean, I do too, but especially when it's your birthday, you want your friends to show up for you, but a lot of my friends did show up and I was really happy, but I mean, your presence was definitely missed, but I get it because I've had moments where I just can't turn it on, and no matter how much I fake, if you hear the little pause.
No, yeah. I felt super bad about it. I obviously wasn't in the good headspace to
and I'm glad
show
you
up for
called
people.
me about it.
But didn't I call you a couple months late?
You called me 2 months late.
Yeah. I've really worked on this about myself. I was really bad at confrontation because, girl, we all know as soon as there's a problem that pops up into our life, what do we all want to do? We all want to run the hell away.
And the thing is also, when it comes to this stuff, like, oh.
No, carry on.
You don't want to disappoint someone, and then also, I think it's more uncomfortable not addressing it on the spot than, like, dragging it out. And I had this conversation with Mario where, like, Mario...
You were like, girl...
You can't drag it out because at the end of the day, it's only affecting you and your mental health, and it's only going to hurt you.
I agree.
I'd rather just rip the Band-Aid off, address it, and deal with it. That's the way I am with my friendships. Like, not that I'm confrontational or I like to confront people, but, like... if there's a misunderstanding, if something comes up, or if, like, if something hurt me, or, like, I just like to communicate it.
For sure. It's hard, though, because we were just having this conversation off camera. It's like some things were so, like, let's confront this. And then other things were like, I will never confront this issue in my life.
Yeah.
However, that one right there, I do agree. When it comes to just, like, showing up for friends, or, like, if you let a friend down, you should confront that issue immediately, because the longer, and I know this from personal experience, the longer you hold on to the issue, the more it's going to eat you alive. And then you'll have to, this bitch, I literally wanted to, like, DM Keo and be like, Keo, what's your address so I can send Amanda a pair of, oh no, I wanted to DM Aniela. And I was like, what is, like, Amanda's address so I can send her flowers to apologize. But Amanda was like, girl, you didn't need to do all that. Just say it.
You could have just called me.
You could have just called.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So then I called and I was
but
like,
I think also,
sorry.
I think also it's that fear because you don't know how that person is going to react.
True. Probably trauma.
Yeah. And I think also it's a scary thing to do. So but I do appreciate that you called. But I think just dragging it out, you're just carrying that with you and it just starts to, like, consume you.
Eat you alive.
Yeah.
It was eating me alive because I think it was, oh my God, I know exactly what it was. We went to the Blackpink concert.
Oh my God.
Separately.
And we were both there. I saw Mario.
She saw me literally strutting around, which is kind of crazy because there were literally, like, I don't know, 50,000 people there. But I literally went with Antonio. And I remember I was with Antonio. Antonio, do you remember this? Oh my God, I'm so happy she's here. Do you remember when I was like, can I swipe up on Amanda's story? And y'all were like, no, you have to apologize first. No. Oh my God. Thank God.
I wanted to talk to you too. And I wanted so badly to, like, call you. But I didn't know why you didn't show up to my birthday. And I, like, not that anything, like, there was no reason, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, it feels like not the right time to address, like, to, like, reach out. But I fully saw you walk into the pit and, like, go to the front. And I was like,
y'all know me. Y'all know me.
But
Blackpink pit.
And that's, like,
I also just asked Amanda, sorry to interrupt, but this is important. I asked Amanda to go to Mexico City with me because Blackpink is performing and she won't go.
I was just in Mexico City and it's so dangerous because of the whole thing, like, with El Chapo. So, like, not doing
Chapo, I'm not kidding. You could tell me who El Chapo is and I would think WWE.
She's right, actually. It is unsafe. I've been hearing that.
It is really unsafe.
Antonio
and
just said
some
it's
airports
unsafe.
have been shut down and there's people literally trapped.
It's a shutdown.
You know what? This is where we wrap up.
I'm glad we're here now. We have been there. Honestly, Amanda, even Greg, my manager, shout out you, Greg, has been like, Amanda's so good for you. And I'm like, thank God, right? Just because.
That means a lot coming from Greg.
I know.
Honestly, I love Greg.
Amanda one time showed up at my house and Greg, like, basically shut the door on her because he thought she was a fan.
He fully thought I was, like, a crazy fan that showed up to the house. Because I was with my little sister. And my sister's not little. She's, like, 19.
No,
but
she's, yeah.
It looked like two fangirls showing up to the house.
Sure. Y'all
for,
are
like,
short.
a photo op. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, like, really funny.
Greg was just like, yeah, one sec. And then he was like, oh, okay, come on in.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I feel like also, and we've had this conversation, in order to have good friends, you have to be a good friend. Mm-hmm. And you have to unlearn a lot, especially in this city where you will text each other 1,000,000 times to go to lunch and it never happens.
Girl, the amount of people, but that is such
a city of that.
It's a very crazy thing though, because I've dealt with that so much and done it so much, but I don't even mean to do it. Like,
it's not, the thing is, we're really busy, Mario, and
but I'm
everyone
not.
around us is. I mean,
like, really, I am, but I'm not.
But we're, like, you could be busy in your bed, like, dealing with shit.
You know what? That's actually very true, because yesterday, for example, I know that it's going to sound so, but honestly, y'all are going to get it. Just give me a second to get through this. Yesterday, I was taking pictures with my friend Kaylee for a little bit. And I was just, after that, she was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I go, Kaylee, our jobs aren't hard. We just took Instagram pictures for a little bit. And she was like, yeah, Mario, but we just hyper fixated on what we looked like and like, just like, our
picked each other apart
for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I was just like, honestly, that's true. Because I did feel a little bit exhausted afterwards, but I was telling her literally out loud, I was like, girl, this is not exhausting. Our jobs are the easiest thing on earth. We just took Instagram pictures for fun. And like, we're getting, it's just like,
Yeah.
But I get it. Our shit can be exhausting sometimes just from like.
It's one of those things where it's like, I will never complain about my job ever, just because we are so fortunate to be in the position we're in, considering our backgrounds. Like,
I can't complain.
Especially like my background, like that's not. I will never take this for granted. I've been doing this for almost 8 years, and it never gets old to me, which is insane.
Wait, how old are you now?
I'm 22. I started to social media when I was like 15. I had just turned 15.
I started when I was like 15, 16. That's
I
crazy.
know, it's insane.
We're both Hispanic. Wait, you're from Cuba, or were you born in Cuba?
I was born
Shut up, Antonio. Just because you're a white, fake Latina doesn't mean you can laugh at the real Hispanics. But anyways, you're from where?
I was born in Cuba, so for me,
I was born in Chile.
Exactly. So you understand a little bit, and I think also like. Considering my background, I came as a refugee. Like, I didn't speak English when I moved to the U.S. I saw my parents struggle, and I saw my parents really overcome a lot of obstacles, and they worked hard for what they had. So I think it was always instilled in me, like, if I wanted something, I had to work for it. So when I had this opportunity come up and it kind of just happened in a way that wasn't expected, I was like, I am never taking this for granted a day in my life.
Absolutely.
The smallest things still excite me. Like, there's really
For
not.
sure.
And even,
that's why when you landed from Paris and just said like, I just landed from Paris. Wait, what did you say?
And I'm still like, oh, and I said, I'm so over it.
Yeah, you were like, I just landed from Paris. I'm so over it. I'm so tired. I was like, wait, Amanda, let's just check ourselves real quick. You just landed from Paris. And she was like, okay, wait, you're so right. Like, just landed from Paris.
No, yeah. Also, checking on each other in those
checking
moments
on each other,
is
for
so
sure.
important. But I think it was more because moving back into like the point that I made about being an immigrant and working really hard. And I have imposter syndrome a lot, where I don't feel like I'm fully deserving of the position that I'm in, or deserving of the money I'm making, or it's like weird. Like, I kind of like battle with myself about like, wow, like how, why am I here? So I overwork myself to the point of like mental breakdown and exhaustion and burnout. It happens to me like a good 5 times a year where it's really bad, and I have not like a manic episode or anything like that, but
just like a spiral?
no, I fully spiral, and I think that like I have no good friends, like no real friends.
Wait.
I feel fully alone.
Me the past 3 days, I'm not kidding.
No, it's a real thing, and I feel like no one truly loves me or cares about me.
Me?
So in December, halfway through December, Keo went to Qatar, my boyfriend, and I'm with Keo a lot, and Keo's my safety. Like, I feel at home with him. Like, I don't feel lonely. But when Keo was gone for 30 days, I was like, wow, I don't really have a lot of friends in this city that I can rely on.
Isn't that kind of when we got close, though?
Yeah, that's when we started to get really close.
Nice.
And I think it was just like that turning point for me where I had to talk with Keo, and I said, my whole life is in Miami, like all of my friends, and they're still my friends. I adore them, but they're living out different chapters in their lives, and we don't have this lifestyle in common, and they don't always understand.
Yeah.
And it's not like I can call them like to come over when I'm going through it. So I need to build a good foundation of friendships here in this city, because this is where I'm living now.
A circle, girl.
And it's hard to find that.
It's even me now I've lived here for 5 years now. This is your first year here?
It's my second year.
Oh, second year. But I've lived here for 5 years, and still to this day, I'm like struggling to find a circle of friends, because my circle has gone from this tiny little circle of 3 people to then a big circle of 7 to then a little circle of 3 to a bigger circle of 6 to now a circle of 0 or 1, 2. I'm like literally like it's
no,
even that is like I have Antonio here who's been like my best friend for 2 years now, and we have gotten so close in the past like couple of months. But there's certain days where I question just like everyone around me, because you just like.
I feel like also
scary.
we're so mean to ourselves, and like
I know.
And sometimes I feel like it's weird, because in this city there's so much treachery and betrayal betrayal.
I was like,
the word. That's why I
treachery?
was like, let me take a step back. Sorry. That you sometimes like you're scared that you're gonna get hurt.
I don't even think it's as far as like betrayal. I think it's more so like.
When you're not of use to them anymore, they discard you.
Yeah, it's like not betrayal, because no one's out here like backstabbing people. It's just like. It was fake from the start almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people only like, be close to you
it's
for a
weird
little.
because, like, even Keo's gone through things where, like, he'll get really close to someone, really be there for them, and, like, take them out of a really dark place, and then completely they ghost him.
Oh, I've gone through this so many times, and I've just now realized, like, before, when people used to, like, treat me like shit, I'd blame it on myself and say, I'm just not being a good friend. I probably wasn't there enough. I was probably being too bitchy. I was probably being too honest, because those are like the things I normally get in feedback when in friendships. But now I'm at a place where I'm much more confident in myself and like the way I know I act towards friends. And
you're more self-aware.
I'm more self-aware in like the good parts about myself. So it's like, yeah, I've just had friends who have been not there. I had this talk with my mom because my therapist literally flaked on me last week, as you know, because I was telling you about that. But I was like, my mom called me and she was like, hey, I haven't heard from you in like 3 days. And that's weird now because I call her every day.
Yes,
and I was like,
I've started to call my mom every day and it's so good for me.
It's a great thing, honestly. Family like thrives. But she called me and she was like, why haven't you called me? And I was like, I've just been like a little sad. She was like, want to tell me why? And I was like, just friends haven't been giving me the amount of love, respect, time, energy, all of the above that I give to them.
Yeah.
And I know how do you say this? Like, I'm so aware of how people work. So I know that everyone in this space and everyone that's like in LA has time. So if you want to give that time to someone you care about, you give it. And then there's also these people that have been hanging out with Antonio. I'm not shading anyone, but there's people that have been hanging out with people they say they hate, but can't hang out with their own best friends. I've been struggling with the whole friendship thing in LA, and I know this was my last episode, but I've been struggling with it just now because it's like, I'm so considerate of other people's feelings and my friends, and like I want to invite people places and I want to make sure that they feel good. And I'm just like always thinking about other friends.
Moji's fully going through it.
Point is, bitches suck. I'm getting my shit together. And at this point, if people aren't giving me the same amount of energy and love that I give to them because I have respect for these people and I hope they would have the same respect for me, if they're not doing that, I gotta go. Like, I'm out.
100%. And I think this even like can cross over and translate into like relationships and love. I think,
which I don't have, but carry on.
But I mean, I was talking about this a few weeks ago that you will always know where you stand with someone, and if you feel a little bit confused about it, then like there's no point in continuing to feed it. I think people show you how they feel about you always.
I agree. I always say actions speak louder than words every time.
And I'm the kind of person where I like to really look for the good in people, and I make excuses for them. Even if they're making me feel badly and I feel like shit or I'm questioning my worth. Even as a friend, I question my worth with other people. And I feel like, oh, did they stop hanging out with me because I'm not valuable enough to them?
That's
like,
how I
am I
used
not
to
good
think.
enough? Like,
and that's shitty.
Am I like relevant enough? Or am I not relevant enough?
See, that's,
and that's
one
why
thing I'll never think of. Because if relevancy is what's keeping our friendship alive, girl,
then I don't
you really
want it,
have to
honestly.
go. You really gotta go.
That's the truth. And like, I think that's why I realized that, and I did a big friendship inventory. I do that every like 6 months. Where
I didn't even mean to do it. It happened.
No, but you know what? Sometimes it's necessary and it's not personal. I can really love someone and know they're not good for me, or that the friendship isn't serving me or helping me improve or grow as a person.
But tell me that's not the shittiest
and
feeling.
And the thing is, it's the worst because a lot of people take it personally. And like, even we take it personally when someone cuts us out of their lives. But I've started to realize, like, you can really like a shirt, like I was telling you earlier. It could fit really nice at some point, make you look and feel really good. But at some point, you will outgrow the shirt. And the shirt will not look the same, and it'll wear. Like, it's not the same shirt.
I like, even if that shirt, like, I outgrew that shirt, I still love that shirt and appreciate all the time I had with that shirt.
You can even keep
so it pisses me off.
You can keep it. You can treasure it. You can fold it, put it in
but
your favorite
that's the thing. That
drawer.
shirt doesn't deserve that treasuring because that shirt was shitty to me.
Yes.
And it didn't fit anymore.
Well, if it made you feel, like, unflattering, then you can throw the shirt away, donate it, or you can keep it, but you don't need to wear it. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like, you can love a friend, really care about them, but if they're not serving you or making you a better person, helping you grow, you can love them from afar. You don't have to hang out with that person at all. Like, but it's hard for me because I went through a major life shift 2 years ago where I decided I didn't want to continue living in the ways that I was living. I didn't like who I was becoming.
You were in Miami then, right?
Yeah, I didn't love or respect myself as a person. I didn't value myself. And people didn't value me because I didn't see the value in myself.
That's the thing. Once you start valuing yourself, everything
Everyone
changes.
notices.
Everything changes.
So for me, I had a major life shift. Even the way I looked, you can tell I didn't care for myself at that point.
Yeah, wait, so can you tell the people, like, the Amanda we are seeing now, I don't know how much of a drastic difference it was, but like, weren't you so different back then because
I
you
was
were
a completely
just in a different
person.
headspace?
I think I was seeking validation from
Men?
not just men, but like people in general. I constantly felt like I needed to prove that I was a valuable person.
Oh wait, honestly, I agree with what you're saying. A lot of the things also, sorry to interrupt again, but
you're good.
a lot of the things is that I value our friendship so much because a lot of the things you say I can really relate to.
Because I feel like it's a universal experience, but not
true.
a lot of people talk about it. And a lot of people aren't even self-aware that they're doing it. I wasn't aware that I was doing that back in the day. And I look now and I cringe because I'm like, wow, like I had a lot of issues that I needed to deal with. And I was a really unhealed person walking around. I also have a lot of trauma from like my childhood and wanting validation. So for me, I always felt like the underdog, and I didn't come from money. I like earned everything myself. Like I'm in a really great position now, but I constantly felt like I needed to flash my money. Like I didn't even have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Back then, but like if I even made a little bit of money, I would like go buy something to wear because I felt that made me valuable.
I feel you.
And I feel like now that I'm in a position where I'm very like fortunate and I'm in a comfortable state in my life, I don't feel the need
to be flashy.
even wear, like I had this like gigantic Rolex and now I can't even like stomach wearing it. I just feel like it's such a flashy,
my God,
pretentious
yeah. That's
thing.
also, you guys, if you're ever down bad and think that you aren't going to find friends, you will, and you'll find friends who literally get exactly what you're going through. Because when I was hanging out with my old group of friends, I remember they live a very like socialite-y, flashy, like let's look really hot, let's like be really iconic
And you know
rich
what?
and cool.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Really? Because I think there is.
But for you, like for some people, that works for them, you know? And I'm never gonna like bash someone for doing that. But for me, and in the place that I am at now in my life, I don't feel the need to prove myself to anyone. And if anyone wants to befriend me for the things that I own, the lifestyle that I live, or for my
the things I wear, the
whole life that comes with it, and I don't.
But that's a thing too. A year ago, I was a little bit more, I guess, pretentious. Is that the right word for it?
I just felt like I constantly like was just seeking validation.
But
I wanted people to accept me.
How did we change this? What clicked? Because I was so about like, I love the pretty girls. I love when these girls are wearing all Chanel. Well, actually, I still really respect those things, but that's mostly from a fashion aspect. I just love fashion.
But that's
I
a
appreciate
different
fashion,
thing.
so that's different. But I was more like buying bags and like doing things to like make sure I fit the part, which is disgusting to think now. I did such a big 180 when it comes to shit like that. Like I almost like, that's what I'm saying just now. Like I didn't agree because I like almost despise when people are like flashy and like, if you have it, do it, wear it,
And
own
also,
it, love it.
there's no problem with that because, for example, like a lot of people work with fashion houses now. Like,
Yeah.
that's
That's my fucking goal for this entire year. I want to work with every fashion house that's ever been a dream.
And
but that's very different. I'm not out here trying to do that for the money and the fame and like the flashiness of it. I love it and I'm inspired by it.
On my Instagram, it's like a highlight reel. And I'm sure a lot of people have said this online. Like, your Instagram is a highlight reel, your social media. But like in my day-to-day life, I don't really like.
But I also wouldn't even consider your Instagram to be pretentious because that's your job and it's like you want to work with these brands, so it's like this is kind of just what you have to do. I don't think that's not what I mean. I mean like
but I feel like
for
me, even like I'm selling my watch, I'm getting rid of it. Like I
love your watch. That's sickening.
I mean, I'm not sure, but like it makes me feel weird like wearing it now because I don't know. There was moments where. Like back then, I was like, I can't leave the house without wearing my watch because it was like a status symbol. Like it was like, hey,
status quo.
Look at me, like, and that makes me feel so weird now because I would never do that.
But here's the thing. Also, it's about perspective because now you're in a more. I know
I'm
Amanda.
more secure as a person.
Not only that, I know Amanda, and she's out here working every day. You work every day, so I think if you want to buy something nice for yourself because you work every day, that's completely fine. And if wearing that makes you feel good for you, then that's fine. I think once it becomes a thing where it's for other people instead of for yourself, that's when it's an issue.
Yeah, and I think like celebrating accomplishments is
totally
great,
fine,
and that's fine. I feel like, but it's just like for me, the biggest thing that like has made me really happy as a person is not seeking validation from other people. And I'll share my accomplishments from here and then because I've had dreams like buying my car. Like that was a big dream of mine. I never thought I would do it, but I did it. And like, it was a nice thing to share, like whatever. But I don't feel the need to constantly like prove my worth as a person. Even in dating and in relationships, I had this whole talk about like my experience with dating guys, especially in LA. It was like really awful. And because I would date guys that lived in LA and like would fly to Miami and like we would have like a little fling. But I constantly felt like I was like waiting for them to text me back, waiting for them to like prove that they loved me or like cared for me or like valued me as a person. And the thing is, when a guy or girl, whatever, truly cares about you and wants to be with you, they'll never put you in a position where you need to question if they're into you or not.
Oh, for sure.
Like the right person that is truly interested in you and wants to pursue you and wants to date you and take you seriously will make sure that you know that and will never make you question that. And that also goes for friends. When someone truly wants to show up for you and be there for you as a person, you're never going to question your friendship.
You're never going to question it. I agree.
You're never going to question if they truly want to be your real friend or not. You're just going to know. And I feel like we all have really good like intuition, gut feelings. And I can even feel when someone's acting weird towards me or acting different.
Me too.
Just by the energetic shift, I can feel it. I've also just done a lot of energy, like work on myself. Like I work on myself and like my overall being as a person, because I'm constantly just trying to grow.
Me too, yeah.
Like not just like in this aspect of my life, but as a person, because if I lived this whole life and I'm not a good person on the inside and my heart doesn't reflect that, what's the point? I think I realized that I needed to change as a person during that time because so many things were going wrong in my life and I truly felt like I hit rock bottom. And I think you could almost see it on my social media that I wasn't happy. A lot of people were like, you looked really sad. But even people in my immediate life that loved me and cared for me were like, Amanda, you're going on this downward spiral and I love you enough to tell you that you're going to ruin your life if you continue down this path.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in a really bad spot. I wasn't taking care of my mental health. I was making really poor decisions and I wasn't prioritizing the right things. And I felt like I needed to prioritize other people over my own needs, my career. Like instead of filming or doing something, if someone told me, oh, like you need to come to this, like I would drop everything and do what they wanted to do.
Oh my God, girl.
Kind of like
felt
almost like a pushover situation.
But it's not even pushover. It's more just you just didn't want to let anyone down, right, and piss people off. And
I was a people pleaser, and I constantly just wanted people to like accept me, and I was really disappointed in myself at one point, and I just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
I have a random question.
Yeah.
And honestly, this goes to like everyone out there, but do you guys, and you obviously, do you ever feel that one feeling? It happened, I started feeling it in high school, and then it happened to me at a couple LA parties when I was very, like, I guess just not secure with myself. But there's a feeling I get once I leave a social gathering, or if there's, in high school, if, like, you're sitting at a certain lunch table versus another where, you know, there's other shit going on. I guess it's called FOMO. It's literally FOMO.
Oh,
I think I'm
yeah.
talking about.
It's
but it's a
FOMO.
different, but it's a weird... It's like I used to like get this weird empty feeling, like it was like the whole world is sunken in, and I'm just like, I'm not doing the right things. I'm not with the right people in this certain moment. I'm not like, it's just like the world was ending if I saw like cooler people doing something else. What is that? Is that FOMO?
I feel like that's a universal experience. Like that's exactly what happened to me. I just find like during this time, this was like COVID kind of like, I think this was like post-COVID almost, but a lot of people were going to Miami at the time to party and to do a bunch of different things. So a lot of people from LA that like I really looked up to at the time would come party, but they would text me because I knew everyone and I could like set things up and like can make.
I mean, me and Larry went to Miami and we hit up our girl Amanda. You already know.
It was a really crazy time. I just constantly felt like I had to host anyone that would come from LA because they would text me and they like, and it made me feel good. Like, oh wow, but you know, of all the people they could have texted in Miami, they texted me. So I just felt like I constantly had to put on a show every single week for people, hosting and doing all these things. And I wasn't prioritizing my livelihood or my job. And it got to the point where I truly hit rock bottom. I was posting really weird stuff online. Like, it just wasn't being like...
Shit gets weird.
I just remember my team had an intervention with me.
Oh, same.
Because I was like, why don't certain brands want to work with me? They're like, well, Amanda, have you seen what you've been posting for the past year? And I was like...
Or it's just like, have you been posting? Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah, you're like not even being productive on anything. And I was like, you know what? Thank you for having this intervention. Like my team sat me down and like, listen, we're saying this because we care about you. And we know how hard you've worked to get to this point. If you continue down this path, like you're not going to be happy with the results.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I'm done. So I fully ghosted everyone in Miami and like went MIA. And then I fully moved to LA.
Literally MIA. And I kind
old habits die hard, and I wasn't truly fully ready
Wait,
to.
what's that saying? Old habits die hard?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like when you're stuck in a habit, it's hard to break it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when one of my really good friends at the time, like I was going through a lot. I mean, like I was getting surgery. Like I had my nose done, and like I had become really close with my friend Lucas. And Lucas was like, you know what? I think LA might be good for you. I think it'd be good for you to like opt out.
Okay, not gonna lie, for someone, if you were going through insecurities and like going through like a bad point of your life, I think the last thing I would tell someone as advice is go to LA.
But I think at that time, everyone was leaving LA. Like everyone was going to Miami. Everyone was like going everywhere else. This was like when LA was fully shut down and closed. Like no one was doing anything. Like you couldn't even go to a restaurant. There was like crazy.
Oh, I think
curfew.
I literally moved back to Florida for 6 months.
Yeah, like no one was really in LA, and I was like really enjoying my time in solitude at Lucas's house because he lives in the hills and it's like super serene.
Wait, when was this? Where are we?
This was in January of 2021. Yeah.
Oh, so 2 years ago.
This was 2 years ago.
Is this when you moved to LA?
Yeah, so
Oh.
Lucas, I had my apartment in Miami, and Lucas said, you know what, why don't we get a place together in LA so you just have a home here whenever you want to come stay here for a bit, get away from the city. And I said, you know what, I think that's a good idea. So we did it. We got a townhouse, and I was living there for a while, and then I just like never went back to Miami
Yeah.
for 6 months. And I said, no, like this is semi-permanent. Like I'm never going to fully live in LA. I did not go back to that apartment for 6 months. I went for 2 weeks for the TikTokers versus YouTubers boxing match, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I just never went back. They broke my AC on purpose to get me to move out because like my rent was like $3,000, but now it's like $10,000 for my exact unit.
Wait, did you just literally confess to like doing that like illegally?
No, they broke my AC.
Who's they?
My landlord in
Oh.
my building to get me to move out, and I kept fixing it, and then he kept breaking it, and I finally was like complaining. He's like, well, what's it going to take for you to move out? I was like, well, pay me for the months that the AC was broken and pay me on top of it, and I'll leave. And I did. So I had movers just literally put all my stuff in a truck and go to LA. And Lucas moved out, and because Lucas owns like a few houses, so like he moved back into one of his old houses, and I moved into the townhouse by myself, and I moved to LA. I didn't have a place in Miami anymore, and the transition was like, it was a 6 month transition, but it was good. And
I think you hit that moment before me, but I think we hit the same moment recently because I think I just had that transition moment to live
yeah.
alone.
And
for
I
6
think
months.
also I was surrounding myself with really good people in LA, like with Santi, and I met Keo, and Keo was very grounding for me in more ways than one. But I think also I was just very motivated to work because I was around people that were constantly working,
Mm-hmm.
and I really respected that work ethic. And I felt like, wow, like, you know what? This is exactly what I need. I need to just like put my all into this, work on myself, rebrand a little bit, and 2 years later, I am where I am now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more grateful. I got into therapy like a year and a half
Okay.
ago.
Girl needs to get back into. Wait, I'm kidding. You need to get back into therapy though. You need to like actually get like.
I know.
so you
I
can
haven't
weekly
been
do
super
it.
consistent just because of my travel, and my therapist was in Miami, and like we would do Zoom.
I'm just saying because that weekly shit saves my life.
I think it's kind of like just, it's good to vent to one person that you know it's not going to go anywhere else.
Yeah, and that they can also give you feedback, like good feedback that you can trust because they don't have any
And
like
also,
malintent.
they check you, and
Oh, for sure. If I tell my therapist anything where I was just like a little bit off, she'd be like, "Mario, you were definitely
well, like
too
let's
intense."
assess this. You know, it's like,
Yeah, like,
I think maybe you might have
Let's
been.
talk about this.
Yeah, like why do
I
you-
remember I wanted to have an argument with well, okay, that's an awful way to start it. I wanted to have a talk with Antonio about the way I was feeling about something, and my therapist. Sorry, honestly, you're right there. But my therapist was like, "Okay, Mario, I can already tell that you are very passionate about this subject, so you need to be like a little bit less intense, and you need to come in with like, I feel this way, not so much of like, you're making me feel this way, you know?"
Yeah.
So it's about things like that, little things like that. That's what I'm saying. Therapy has been so good for me because she just gives me little pointers that have helped me in my everyday life.
And I think also, I don't think you realize the overload of things that we deal with in our lives that normal people our age don't deal with at this point. Like,
Yeah,
not
I mean,
only
everyone
are
deals
we
with their own shit.
we're balancing careers, we're balancing being in the public eye, dealing with like your business constantly being out there. Like my relationship is being questioned every week. I'm still with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of pressure on top of us, and we have teams that rely on us for income. We have teams
That's the part that stresses me
put a
out,
lot of
actually.
pressure on us. Not a lot of pressure, but it's like, you know.
Nope. Yeah, no, a lot of
But
pressure.
it's a good pressure because we need someone to hold us accountable, and our teams do that. I have 11 people I report to, so it's kind of like, okay, if I mess up.
Wait, 11 people is just excessive.
I have a big team, you know. They all play different roles, but
Okay.
if I mess up, you know, I gotta let them know, and it's just gonna. I don't want to disappoint anyone, so it's a lot of pressure.
That's literally something I said in the last episode. I was like, you want to do it for yourself tomorrow, because if you don't do it like today, then you're gonna let a lot of people down that you're gonna have to let them know afterwards. That was my thing. It's like, I love having a team, because it's like you guys. If you're like sailing on a ship, you're the goddamn captain. But if the captain starts up, the entire boat goes down. The entire boat goes down, and it's a lot of pressure for a weird reason that like I always feel that pressure of like I'm leading a ship, and if
that's a great way to describe
that's the only way I can ever think of it. I'm such a visual learner, like a visual person, that like the only way I can think of it is like that. I've said it verbatim to Greg. I'm like, Greg, I can't have this talk right now because I know I'm leading the ship right now, and it's like if I stop leading the ship, we're all gonna sink. So it's like, just give me a sec.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's very surface.
But what I was
level.
saying is like we deal with a lot. We have a lot going on, and I think a lot of people like to like dumb down the term of what we do, but we're playing a lot of different roles, and we all have different goals. Like, I don't want to stay in this box. I never want to be confined to a category. I have a lot that I am working towards, and I know that you are too. So it's good to have someone that you can talk to and kind of organize your mind, because we do have a lot going on.
That's like the main thing.
It's like a mental declutter every time I talk to my therapist.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be a therapist. It could be someone that you trust and can confide in. It could be a very close friend.
Our family.
But your friends are not your therapists. Like, don't fully drop all your burdens on them unless it's like mutually like happening.
Sorry.
Because sometimes I don't feel that way. I think it's a healthy thing to like talk. I have one of my best friends that I talk to a lot of like my trauma. Because I still have things that I've gone through from years ago that the trauma is still really heavy on my heart, and it's healthy to talk about it with someone. And she lived it with me. Like, she fully saw me go through the things that I went through. So it's good to declutter, categorize, and just plan out not plan out your emotions, but plan how you're going to deal with them.
Yeah. I think my focus since starting like therapy and everything has just been like, just stop stressing about everything, because like you just said, fully validating everything you said, because yes, there are a lot of things that like we have to like play every role and lead a ship for sometimes, but for the most part, like our jobs are really fun, and they started as a passion, so that makes it easier for us. So I think now my biggest thing that I'm working towards is like when I'm dealing with all this shit and like having to put stuff together, it's like just have fun and enjoy it, because you're here with your friends. At the end of the day, I'm literally sitting with my two friends in my living room, like having a good time filming, just talking.
Yeah. And
so
having
like,
such an insightful conversation and just bouncing off each other, you know?
Yeah, I'm just great. I'm just so grateful. No, but I really am. I guess a part of healing yourself is also like, oh my God, that's actually such a big thing that I don't think I've ever said, but for the past year, I remember when I was doing these exercises without like any help from anyone, I was just like trying to like write stuff I'm grateful for every day, and like write stuff I'm looking forward to. And I could always write stuff I'm looking forward to and goals, but I could never write one thing I was grateful for and meant it. Like, I didn't want to write something down that I didn't mean, and I could never mean to be grateful for something. I don't know if it's because I was just sad, but I like would be like, I love my apartment, and then I'd be like, I'm not grateful for it though. I'm not working for it right now. It's like, why would I be grateful for that?
And it's okay if there's moments where you're not, and it's good to check yourself. And I definitely had a really transformative past few years.
I need to stop interrupting people. I'm sorry that I interrupt people on my podcast. I'll work on it. Antonio's episode,
I get yelled at for doing that too, and you do.
No, it was Antonio's literal episode that I kept interrupting her, apparently. But anyways, my whole point is, if you have gone through anything like me or Amanda, where you're just like clearly, I'm not speaking for you, but speaking for me, I was clearly insecure, clearly didn't have confidence in myself that I had to like show out for other people and stuff like that.
100%. Like, I didn't have that validation.
I just didn't.
Myself.
I was insecure. You will, at one point, get to the place where like you are working on yourself and like realize that you should be your number one priority, because after you do that, everyone else will like treat you better.
And at the end of the day, you have to remember
you
that you are the prize, and that you know how valuable you are as a person, what you have to offer, and how good of a person and how good of a friend you are.
Hopefully you're a good friend in person, seriously.
An amazing partner. There's so many things that you can bring to the table. Like, I now know how valuable I am, And I don't need anyone to tell me that. I know that. And at the end of the day, whoever gets to experience me in their life is a privilege.
That's what I'm thinking recently. There's a word that I never thought I would use to describe myself, and that word is considerate. I think I was on the phone with Antonio. Was it you? Oh, yeah, it was. And I think she said that I was considerate, and I was like, that is just like the biggest description of me ever, because even when I'm not trying to be considerate, girl, I am so considerate.
It's true.
I am thinking about every single person's like inner dialogue before I even think of my own. It's like really crazy.
And you call me and you check on me a lot, and I really appreciate that. And I think it's just, at the end of the day, guys, remember that you are the prize, that you don't need anyone's validation but your own. And it does take time to get to that point. It took me a long time. Without therapy, it took me a while to really get to where I am now. And
even with therapy, I'm still struggling with it.
I mean, we all have those moments where we question everything. We question ourselves. Like, I sometimes deal with rejection even when I like shoot my shot with friendships. Like I make an effort and then like I get like no.
I haven't done that yet because I'm still socially like phobia, but I want to start reaching out.
No, but I feel you. But like I there's moments where I've had great experiences with people, and then I just get ghosted.
See, that's spook, and that makes me sad.
Especially when you open up.
Yeah, that stuff makes me sad, Amanda. It's like I understand that like maybe I'm being like. Not the word's not gullible. There's another word for it, but like naive. Yeah, it's like maybe I'm being naive, but like it makes me so genuinely upset when like all you have is good intention and good heart, and all you want to do is reach out and like you like this person, and just want to like have a little bit of
and be a
like
good
love
person
back,
and like
and then
show up for them.
Yeah, and then you get like shit on. That makes me feel like absolute dog shit, and I know it shouldn't. I shouldn't let things like get to me so personally and like all of that, but like it affects me so much. Did I just make you yawn with what I'm saying? Whatever. No. We're going to play a little game called Hot or Not, where honestly, Antonio's going to like sit right here and I'm going to sit on her lap and she's going to tell us hot or not things. Welcome, Antonio Garza.
Okay, hot or not, be real.
Not.
I'm done with Be Real.
I think we're all over it.
I deleted it. It's like I don't need the notification. I don't.
Oh my god, and it's so annoying when they notify every single person.
Every single person.
Because
no, y'all! I turned that off last year.
I need to turn it off because no one posts on time, so we get notified when every single I can't. Actually, I'm deleting.
Amanda Diaz just posted late. Antonio Garza just posted late. Charlie D'Amelio just posted late. I don't need it.
No, I literally just got it.
Yeah,
no. I'm
Baby, should we all delete the app after this podcast?
I deleted it.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, yeah, I got rid of it.
I'm deleting.
Thank you. Next, not 2023.
Bye, Be Real.
This is honestly a 2023 hot or not. We're gonna see if these things can stay in 2023 or they have to go and stay in 2022.
Delete.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so the next one is Twitter.
Hot.
Who wrote these? Hot.
Twitter's
always hot.
I mean,
Twitter's
honestly,
superior.
I've been loving Twitter recently because I've been tweeting foolish shit.
You know that they have a For You now, and it's so elite.
It changed everything.
Wait, is it good?
Yeah, I still used it before, but now that they have For You,
now it's really funny.
Everything's fresh.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I love Twitter.
I'm hot.
You really know you made it when your Twitter's popping. Like when the shit.
My Twitter's
You know Aaliyah's interlude? I love her Twitter. So
I don't know what that is, but put me on.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
Okay. Wearing pajama bottoms out in public.
Hot,
because that is Mario Selman attire.
And I'll do it again.
I've never done it because I'm too scared. You know, I have my Minion ones that I love.
I don't care. I'll wear it.
Sweatpants all the time out. Sweatpants and Uggs.
If sweatpants are pajama bottoms, then that's really scary.
My Brandy Melville sweatpants are my pajamas.
Oh, do y'all mean like my Spider-Man kind of pajamas?
Yeah, I mean like actual pajamas.
Would you call these pajamas?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You can't wear the sweatsuits out.
I don't know.
Okay. Hot though.
I mean, hot.
I don't care, hot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't give a if you're about to judge me for my Spider-Man pajamas.
It's LA.
Bye.
Okay, this one I'm gonna switch it because it says matcha lattes, but I just think matcha in general.
Love matcha.
Hot or not?
Hot. Hot but iced. Period.
Slay.
I mean, I'm in the middle. It's I can go either way. I think it was a trend, but people like it. People stuck with it, so whatever.
I think I like matcha. Have you guys tried the mushroom powder yet?
Oh my god, this girl has been.
No.
The first time that Amanda FaceTimed me, because we FaceTime every morning basically, and she FaceTimed me and I go, yeah, I'm having my coffee. She goes, yeah, I'm having my mushroom coffee replacement. I go, you're doing shrooms right now?
No. It's basically a coffee alternative. It has brain mushrooms that are for your brain. It's not like a hallucinogen or anything like that.
Not a drug.
Not a drug. But it has lion's mane, a bunch of different mushrooms that are good for your optimal brain function. It gives you the energy boost without the anxiety of caffeine, because I tend to get panic attacks or get really anxious when I drink a lot of caffeine.
Me too.
And I like matcha.
So
matcha
relatable.
gives me like a good burst of energy, but sometimes I crash on matcha. But with the mushrooms, I use the Live Conscious one. It gives me that energy. It makes me really productive, and I never crash. It's really great.
Just like I'm a little uncomfortable. It's okay. No, yeah, maybe I need to get into the shroom coffee.
And it tastes like coffee.
I'm
It
honestly
tastes
scared.
like it tastes like chocolate. It's so
Listen,
good.
I had a friend that.
Well, it's not even just him. I feel like a lot of people do shrooms and then start acting crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people
I know, but
like,
that's
in LA
insane.
do shrooms.
But
I'm
I've
like,
never, you know what? I've never done drugs. It's so crazy.
Queen, Miami Queen.
Literally on my life, like it's so insane that
I
I lived in
believe
Miami
you.
and didn't. But this has nothing to do with that kind
Yeah,
of
at all. I'm
mushroom.
just teasing. I'm
Yeah.
honestly just teasing.
Yeah, no.
Like if you're having shrooms for breakfast, like I'm really concerned.
No, and
A cry
there
for
was
help.
a girl that I was literally so close to, and then she started doing shrooms every day. I go, oh,
And now she's Gandhi.
and now she's gone. Oh,
Oh.
Gandhi and gone.
And gone. Anyways, eating almonds as a snack. What?
What
Not.
the hell is that?
That's sick.
Wait, not. I used to do that, but not for good reasons. That's an awful one. Skip.
No.
Next.
I feel like Gigi Hadid wrote this. Okay.
No, stop.
Oh no.
Lip gloss.
Hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
I'll let the girlies answer that. I like Laneige. I like the natural lip gloss.
I'm really
one.
into the Buxom plumping gloss, and it's really good.
I use Fenty.
Dior gloss is good too.
And all the girls gagged and everyone moved.
No, what's not hot
Oh God, here
is
she goes.
the Dior lip oils. They're not
Wait,
oils.
I've heard great things about
No.
I kind of like it, but it's more of a gloss than an oil. The Clarins
gloss.
lip
She
oil
loves
is
Dior.
great too.
Don't
Yeah.
come for Dior.
Dior's great.
Oh, okay.
Their lip glosses are.
I like the Clarins
The
lip oil
problems.
though too.
I've never tried that.
I think it's dangerous to buy the dupe on Amazon because God knows what chemicals they put in it.
Yeah. Dupes, not hot.
No, that whole. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm about to say something controversial.
The
Here I
gay
go.
is not hot.
Here I go. What?
DH gay is
Being
not
gay?
hot.
Oh, also that. No, yeah.
I
But
love
that-
the gays.
this whole-
I'm an ally.
Not me. This whole dupe trend on TikTok has to be annihilated.
I can't.
And so does Fat Sal's. Okay, moving on.
Fat Salus? Wait.
Fat Sal's.
Oh,
Do you
like
know-
the sandwich
do you know
shop?
the sandwich place
Oh
in LA?
my God,
I tweeted
no.
about it. You guys, I can't even get into it.
I've never been.
Fat. Don't
Traumatizing.
Go.
If you let that sandwich sit out for longer than 5 minutes, it will get soggy and
Don't
disgusting.
even get the sandwich. It has mozzarella sticks in it and so many weird things in a sandwich. I can't
Chicken
talk about it.
That
tenders,
sounds
fries.
interesting.
You would like some shit like Fat Sal's. I can't even talk to you anymore. This is
Okay.
what my friends want.
So, sorry, I lost my place.
You're good.
Photo dumps.
Oh, love photo dumps.
I love
Hot.
photo dumps.
Yeah.
I love seeing people's photo dumps.
Yeah.
I don't do them, but I love them.
Yeah, I do them.
But when like Kylie Jenner does a photo dump, it's like,
I'll scream.
what
I'm
are
like,
you doing?
yes,
Wait, what?
babe, let me see your coffee order.
I'll literally scream.
No, she does that.
Like, yeah, I want to see Stormy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And air.
Right. Air. Cottagecore aesthetics.
I don't know what that is.
It depends on the cottagecore.
Yeah, because there's like niches inside of that. I think that some are like a vibe. Some
The
are overdone.
minimalist, cute little like light cottagecore is cute
Mm-hmm.
with a but like if it's like overly done, it's like scary.
But I want to live in a cabin, so honestly, I'm saying hot for that
Oh,
one.
I
love
say hot.
Cabin in the Woods vibes. Hot.
Like a cabin with like a bow in my hair and like a sheep outside.
No,
Wait, that's everything.
I
Literally.
fully love visiting Kyo's hometown for that reason because it's literally the woods.
Is it like that?
Yeah, it's nice.
Cabin
See,
in the Woods.
that's hot. Going to bed before 10 p.m. Not hot.
Hot.
Not hot.
It's so lame. And
Antonio hates that, but I love it.
it's the
I
same-
can't do it.
I'm a grandma.
It's like the 6 a.m. club. It's like
5 a.m. club, silly.
No,
And
yeah,
I'm
that's
a part of it.
I think it's too much.
No,
What- yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
And I'm with the people, I'm with the people that love it. I'm with y'all. I love it.
y'all are weird.
No, we're just different.
The Kardashians.
I mean, always hot.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thrifting vintage furniture. That's
Not hot
like-
because of bed bugs.
What? Really? I feel like that sounds so hot. I've never
I
even
know
bought something
so many
vintage.
people that buy. It's fine if you buy a table, but like when it comes to buying couches or like
What about like vintage like dining room chairs? That'd be sick.
That's
yes,
hot.
but if it has cloth, you never know like the transport because I know people who have dealt with like really serious bed bugs.
Yeah, like a vintage couch could be really scary. But most vintage furniture, that's
Also,
hot.
Yeah,
like
the idea of it
how
is really
vintage
hot.
are we talking?
And I mean,
Vintage.
yeah, like vintage.
I don't know.
I mean,
But pretty
honestly-
hot. Hot enough.
No, really hot. I think here in LA it's hard though because like at least when I was furnishing my house, I was looking for vintage stuff and I barely have anything vintage because it's it's almost more expensive than buying things new. Which
I'm gonna
is
be
just
honest.
dumb.
I love Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah, same.
Me too.
But for
OfferUp,
certain
all
things,
those
OfferUp. But now OfferUp is a little spammy.
It's hard. It's like a hunt.
Yeah.
And Facebook Marketplace gets scary too.
I'm honestly #blessed that like I furnished my whole apartment. Like I'm done, girl. I'm tapped out.
No, thank God.
I've been
That's
remodeling my house for 2 years.
It's like
And
the
I'm
worst
not
thing ever.
done.
It's fun, but it's not.
I think I did the like crazy thing where you just pile it all into 1 month and you just like spend way too much.
Too
money.
chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on Facebook Marketplace the other day and saw like a coffee table that was a fish tank. So it's like weird things like that.
Kind of cool.
scare
Did
me.
you see my last episode where I talked about killing a fish?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's
Next.
cool. Anyways, soft launching.
Hot.
Ooh, that's really hot in my opinion. I feel like I was about to say if I get a boyfriend, but I'm changing it. When I get a boyfriend, I feel like it'll be a soft launch.
I don't even know if I did a soft launch or a hard launch with Keo because we were posting like as friends, but like we kept our relationship private for like 3 months before we like hard launched that we were dating. We kept lying and kept saying that we were just friends.
Yeah, but
it was almost embarrassing because
that's
like,
a hard launch though. That's not a soft launch. I feel
yeah.
like.
But like it was so embarrassing because like we would do interviews or like Keo would go do interviews and he'd be like, "No, that's my friend,"
Oh,
and like I'd be embarrassed.
it's giving Dixie and Noah.
I know.
Wait, you didn't say hot or not?
Oh, hot, yeah. So anyway.
All right. Do y'all remember on Antonio's episode when we talked about how she stopped playing Fortnite with me for a reason? If you go back to that episode and find out that reason, it's just some tea.
Anyways. Also, Fortnite's awful now.
Awful. Yeah, let's talk about that. Fortnite, hot or not? Not. And
Not.
it's all started with that one season that we stopped.
I think they just released a new one, so we kind of have to try it.
No.
but, like,
I've been watching that hot guy that we like on TikTok.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, love him. He's so hot. I've been watching him, and the seasons are just not giving anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really sad. Okay. Fake plants.
Oh, so hot. Every plant in my
So
house is
hot. I can't keep anything alive. I'm sorry.
Amanda just now before coming over, she was like, "Hey, do you want this plant?" My first question was, "Is it fake or real?" Because I can't water it. And she said,
I was like, it's fully fake, babe, but it looks really real.
And now it's on its way.
High quality fakes. The only high quality fakes I buy are plants.
This right here, fake. That back there, fake. Sorry, but it looks amazing.
All fake.
Listen, I can barely take care of myself. I can't take care of a dog, an animal. Like, I commend you for even keeping this dog alive.
Little mochi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only fakes I want in my life are fake plants. Okay.
Period.
QR codes. Like, what does that even mean?
They're kind of annoying. Like, I wish I had like a solid menu to look at instead of a fucking
Oh,
QR
true.
code.
Oh, that's what that means. I was like actually so confused.
Honestly, QR codes are not hot.
I don't think so either. It's remember when we went to that one restaurant, we had to scan the QR code, order, and then pay on our phones, and then we still had to tip the like.
Oh yes. I
Yeah,
know
that was
what
really,
restaurant you're
that's
talking
annoying.
about.
It's like, why would I do that?
Can I say the other end though? I think they're hot. I think when you're trying to connect your Spotify to the TV and it says, instead of typing it all in, do you want to use this QR code?
Oh, that's convenient.
hot.
Yeah, that's
That is
amazing.
the hottest thing I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life.
I guess
and
it's
then
circumstantial.
Also, if we're at a dinner and we're trying to save the earth and trying to save paper, scan your goddamn QR code. And if you can't figure that out, I'm sorry for y'all.
Yeah. You know, I guess the menus online are good too because you can see the photos of the food.
You can do everything.
Sometimes.
And honestly, paying on the phone, like, I'm sorry that you're pissed about that. Oh, you're pissed about
No,
the
I'm
tip.
pissed about the tip.
I'm pissed about the tip.
Yeah,
I think
no.
I was.
I think
Didn't I
tipping
send my matcha
culture-
back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, I sent my lemonade back because it was disgusting.
Well, it's just a little crazy. And
Also,
I'll send
guys,
it back.
tipping culture's out of fucking control.
Out of control. I'm so sorry, and I don't know if it's just LA.
And I
Can
tip.
y'all-
I tip well.
Me too.
But it's out of pocket when I'm at a drive-through or at Starbucks, like ordering a drink, and they're trying to service charge me 20%.
This is what I was just about to say. This. I don't know if it's just LA.
We need to pay livable wage here. Like,
Oh yeah, so that they don't need like.
Okay, if
crazy
y'all don't let me
tips.
say my goddamn point, I'm actually. I can't stand, and please tell me if it's everywhere, because I know y'all be living everywhere. And the Starbucks drive-thru happened to me 2 days ago. Thank God you brought it up. I'm at a drive-thru. Y'all aren't like doing. I'm
A
sorry.
service. You're
I
not
love
bringing-
y'all. I tipped so well. Deadass. I promise. I swear to God, I will always be good to waiters. I know.
Keo used to be a waiter.
So I get it. I do get it.
It's hard work.
But don't hand me these things of like 20, 24%, 28% when
And
there
they
was
press
no
the biggest
service.
One. They look
Oh, well,
you
no, they should
in
never
the
press
eyes.
it.
They'll stare into your soul with the 30%, and if you adjust it, like they'll give you a look.
I respect
sorry.
the people that when we're checking out, I respect the people that know how uncomfortable it is about to
And
be, so they
look away.
step away, they look away, they start working on something. I
So
respect
nice.
y'all. Y'all are everything. And you know what? Those people get the biggest tip.
Yeah.
Are out here trying to make me do 28% for what? I ordered a green juice.
And also, speaking of
Like,
tips,
you literally went, grabbed it from the fridge, and gave it to me.
Right.
Yeah. And also, what makes me mad is
She's pissed.
I lost it.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
lost it.
Whatever.
No, but it was really, really good.
Or when they make TikToks, you know?
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Someone that we know, this happened to someone that we know, and they called me about it because it was literally so insane. So they went to get sushi at a restaurant, and this person tipped the waiter 20%. And because the waiter recognized this person, she chased him out. She chased this person out of the restaurant and got upset that they only tipped her 20%.
See, no.
And said, I know you're rich. Why are you only tipping me 20? Like, especially like knowing all the things that you flaunt, like, give me some cash right now. This was a real thing. And my two friends were with this person.
That's crazy because it's like
I feel like it's almost entitlement, and I see a lot of TikToks about it, and it kind of just like, maybe I don't want to sound out of touch, but I think like tipping 20% is good, but like anything over that is like a bit
Or no,
much.
I mean tip whatever you want based on like whatever happened.
Because
but also
sometimes when guys are like, when waiters are really nice to me, I will leave them a bigger, like I'll leave them $100. Like if they're really nice to me, or if it's even like one of my like supporters, like I'm like, oh my God.
Girl, one time, I'm not kidding, I got sat at a pretty table and it made me want to tip like so much more. It's just like if they're just being nice and doing extra things for you, it's just like, well, people are good.
Yeah. Last thing I have to say is Uber Eats.
Oh my God.
Why are they
Thank God you
giving
brought
me
it
a
up.
percentage of what I'm paying for my meal at a restaurant to tip the driver? If I'm paying $100 for like a food for me and my friends and I'm ordering all of it to the house and it's like 1 or 2 bags, why does that affect how much they suggest I tip the person who's just picking it up and dropping it off at my door?
Oh my
that
God.
makes me mad.
You know
And why are the tips just like $6.50, $5.50?
Sometimes it's like
right?
$12.
And I'm just like, I'm so confused. What happened to society?
Sorry, $12.
Is it inflation?
Yes.
But
like,
just print more money.
Imagine how much money Uber and Postmates makes off like all the little taxes that they tax us, because it's not just the tip for the delivery driver. There's so many added. There's a delivery fee of like $10, $12, $15. There's added like fees.
Sometimes I get service fees.
It's double the order, and then also you have to pay like the service fee or like the tip, and it's just like insane.
Okay, honestly, next topic.
Okay,
we're complaining
This
a lot
got
about
really
it.
heavy. Let's continue.
Moving on.
Okay, next one is wearing nice perfume / fragrance.
Okay,
always.
Antonio recently, I'm not kidding, I told her this time, wait, what? I told her this last time we hung out, she has been getting the scent stamp. Oh my God. I also have this thing, I guess, that I made up according to who? Oh, according to my friend Kaylee and Stassi. I don't think I made this up. Have y'all heard the stamp before? Where you give a friend a stamp? What? I guess I did make it up then.
What is
like
that?
my friend Vicky from home has the food stamp because I know anything she tells me to try, anything she tells me to eat, like I'll enjoy it.
It's like the GBT.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Kaylee Anderson, anything she cooks, you know this.
She has the cooking stamp.
I won't question it. Cooking stamp.
Wait, what stamp do I have?
We'll get there. Antonio has the fragrance stamp. This bitch, every time I like smell her or I'm with her, I'm like, girl, what are you wearing today?
Wait, that's the first thing I complimented you on when you walked in.
And that's why she has the stamp. And then Kaylee was like, oh, so like, can anyone have the stamp for this? And I was like, no, the stamp is very particular. You have to be so good at this niche thing. I've created a stamp thing.
I love that.
You have the fragrance stamp. You really do,
Thank
because
you.
you mix it and
I mix
do
it
all
and
the
match
things.
it.
Yeah.
I know the secrets. I know the truth.
You got into the truth at that one store that we went to. What's that one? Baccarat?
Oh, when we were at Neiman's, yeah.
But then you have a thing against it now? What is it?
No, not against it. It's just Baccarat Rouge, the one perfume that everyone loves. I can't
doesn't
smell it
last on me.
anymore. It used to last on me, but even if I spray it straight on, right out of the bottle, I'm nose blind to it now, so I can't
Maybe
smell
they
it.
watered down the...
Oh, that's what
It's
it is.
really
You become
sad.
nose blind to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she fully has a fragrance stamp. I've become I don't know about y'all, but I'm such a fragrance person. Like, if I'm taking a bath and want to relax, I need a fragrance. If I want to feel sexy and like
I'm big on candles. I'm big on really
fragrance.
luxe body wash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the experience.
I agree. Fragrance adds so much and such a meaning. Oh, you just posted in Paris. You said, I love attaching a fragrance to a trip because the fragrance then reminds you of the
Yeah.
trip.
I do that
That's
too.
amazing.
I have a lot
I love that.
of perfume. I get sent a lot of fragrance, and I love so many different ones for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, in order for me to kind of compartmentalize fragrances, I tend to just like take a specific new different one on any trip, and then when I spray it, it reminds me of that.
I love that.
Experience.
Have you ever been at like a public place and you smell that one smell
And
of
it's
that
so
one
triggering.
guy and
So
you get
triggering.
triggered?
Oh my God.
Girl, there's this
Dior
one
Sauvage.
smell. Oh, Dior Sauvage.
Bye.
You told me I wore that.
Bye.
I'm sorry. I like that smell when I want to feel manly and like a boy. But there was this one smell that my only ex boy, whatever you want to call it, had, and anytime I would smell that shit, shivers down the spine, and I'd be like, "Is he here?" It's crazy. Fragrances just have such an impact.
Yeah.
So they're hot.
Very, very hot.
Very hot. You didn't tell me my
Yeah,
stamp.
yeah.
What's my stamp?
Okay, Amanda Diaz's stamp. Honestly, let me come back to it because a stamp means a lot. Like a stamp,
Okay, yeah.
you have to like.
I'll give you a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is eating oysters. For me, not hot. I don't eat fish. Or
Not
meat.
hot. I'm allergic.
Not hot. I hate like seafood.
Extra not hot because
mostly.
it smells disgusting.
And
I'm
extra
sorry.
not hot because you're slurping down like something like, isn't it like mucusy like texture?
Ew.
I heard it's
Yeah.
an aphrodisiac. Like, it makes you horny.
Oh wow,
Really?
that's kind of hot. Wait, might switch the not to like hot. Like, you guys have been doing that so much recently. Have you caught on to it?
What?
Like,
Oh.
Okay,
Well, of course.
next.
like.
Espresso martinis.
Oh my
Hot
god,
with
hottest.
reposado.
Okay, and amigas, I'm sorry. I'm of age. Like, it's just like, I'm sorry I'm talking about this, but like espresso martinis, when the girls are going out at night and you're a little bit tired, girl, it'll pick you up.
Oh my god. So I discovered this in Mexico City. We were on set for 12 hours, like for 2 days straight, and we needed a pick me up. And after set, we had to go to a dinner, and like they're like, let's just get like espresso martinis. I was like, I don't like them. They're like, we'll try it with tequila.
Girl, it's
And I was like, oh wait, this is a game changer. It's so
I love
good.
them. They're my fave. And someone recently, I tweeted a couple days ago. Did you see it? I said, "Go get a pair right now. You'll thank me later."
I did see that.
Okay,
And I
someone
thought, what?
No, because have you had a pear recently?
No.
Did you have pears when you were little?
Pairs of what?
Pear. No, like a pear,
the
like the fruit.
Yeah, I love pera.
Okay, yeah, exactly. My mom used to always like slice me up the little pears, and then I had a pear recently at a restaurant, and it changed my life.
They're so good.
Have
No,
you ever had
so
pear
good.
pasta? It's so good.
Pear pasta?
Never.
Yeah, like pear inside the pasta. It's
No,
insane.
I've never had that. That's a crazy
Insane.
taste. But point is, a pear martini apparently is the it girl.
I like lemon drop more. Cuts
I've got to
the
try.
alcohol more.
I've got to try it. I've never experienced.
I'm 19. Wait, no, I'm 20.
Stop talking.
NFTs and crypto.
Okay, honest to God.
That was never hot.
never
I'm
hot.
so sorry.
I hate
I
straight white
immediately check off a guy like before when I was single if he did crypto.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
It's really boring to listen.
They all look the same.
Yeah. I
Sorry
actually
for you.
made like a few $1,000s from crypto. Then I got bored and scared, so I never did it again.
people. Yeah, I'm just like not
I got
into
scammed.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
On crypto?
I feel like everyone in LA got a certain like like
Oh wait, I have that too.
Oh, yeah.
and then it never like what happened to
Wait, is
all
that the
these?
thing I have?
I think
It's
we
an
all have
NFT.
it.
Yeah. Oh, it's an NFT. Whatever. I have.
Yeah.
Apparently, you guys, I have a fucking NFT. I don't even know what that means, and I honestly don't care.
Yeah.
Could be worth money.
Don't care.
Wearing giant oversized t-shirts, that's
Oh my god,
always
it's always hot.
Always
What the
hot,
hell?
babe.
I recently bought a lot more, and I'm
I
really
feel like
happy about
Ariana
it.
Grande every time, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
I love it.
You guys, I think this was a pretty
This was
deep
seriously so
episode.
deep.
Wait, oh my god, was it too deep? If you are insecure, stop being insecure. Put yourself first. You will get through that.
I think the best way to say that actually is remember how valuable you are as a person. The only validation you need is from yourself.
Honestly, great way to word that. The way I did it was very bad.
Number
Antonio,
2,
Point 2.
prioritize your mental health.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. That was
Exactly.
and then number 3, Antonio, take us home.
If you ever are sad, move across the country.
Slay. Honestly.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. Thank you all so much. I love you all. If you want to go listen, you can listen on all streaming platforms. And if you want to go watch, you can go watch on the Past Your Bedtime YouTube channel. And that's it for today's episode. I'll see you all next week. Bye. Mwah.